You know, we all have goals, right? Big ambitions. But what if the biggest things holding us back aren't the things we can see, like a lack of time or money, but invisible forces inside our own heads? Today, we're diving into this idea of the 7 silent killers of our potential. We're going to focus on 4 of the big ones to help you figure out what might be standing in your way. Just let that sink in for a second. You cannot drift to the top of the mountain. It's so simple, but it's so true. Nobody just wakes up successful by accident. Getting to the top of any mountain in any part of your life takes a deliberate climb. It requires actual effort and, a direction. Okay, so if we know we have to climb, why does it so often feel like we're just drifting? Like we're being pulled along by a current, not really steering the ship? It's such a common feeling, that sense of being stuck or just moving without any real purpose. And that really brings us to the core of what we're talking about today. This huge difference between passively drifting through life and actively, intentionally climbing toward a goal. One is just accepting what comes, and the other is all about ambition. And here's why we feel that way. It's because we're often fighting the wrong battles. We blame all the obvious stuff, the external problems, while completely missing these invisible currents that are pulling us off course from the inside. The source material that we're digging into gives these invisible forces a pretty powerful name: attitude diseases. And I love this framing because it reframes the whole thing. It suggests that a negative mindset isn't just you having a bad day. It's more like a condition, something that's actively hurting you, but also something you can treat. So let's define it. An attitude disease is called a psychic disease, basically a sickness of the mind that is actively working against you, sabotaging your potential. We're not just talking about feeling a little down. We're talking about a pattern of thinking that is literally eating away at your future from the inside out. And this slide right here says it all. Look at the left side. These are the usual suspects, right? The excuses we all make. I don't have enough money. I don't have the time. But now look at the right. These are the real culprits, the silent killers working behind the scenes. And the big takeaway here is that it's often not about what you don't have. It's about how you think. All right, so let's pull back the curtain. It's time to meet these silent killers, one by one, and really understand how they do their dirty work. First up is indifference. And this one is so subtle, which is exactly what makes it so incredibly dangerous. This is that quiet acceptance of good enough. It's the silent decision to just stop climbing. Indifference really is the disease of drifting. It's what happens when you lose that fire in your belly, that ambition to push for something more. You just settle. You start passively accepting whatever life throws at you instead of fighting for what you actually want. It's choosing to coast. Next on our list is a killer that just traps you right where you are: indecision. This is the great paralyzer, the thief of opportunity. The source calls it the thief of opportunity, and man, is that accurate. You get so scared of making the wrong choice that you end up making no choice at all. And you just stay there, stuck at a crossroads, sometimes for years, watching all these amazing opportunities just fly right by. Now for an enemy that attacks from deep within your own mind: doubt. This one goes right for the foundation of all success: your belief in yourself. It's that little voice that tries to tear down everything you build. Think of doubt as the polar opposite of faith. It's that nagging little voice whispering, "You're not good enough," or "What if you fail?" It absolutely thrives on the fear of failure, and it can paralyze you just as much as indecision, except it kills your confidence before you even get a chance to start. And the final killer we're going to break down today is worry. If the others paralyze you, this one is different. This one actively drains the life out of you. Worry is described as a misuse of the imagination, and that is such a powerful way to think about it. You have this incredible creative ability, your imagination, and instead of using it to build a better future, you're using it to create these detailed, vivid movies of everything that could possibly go wrong. All it does is drain your energy and lock your focus on failure. So, okay, we've met the killers, but what happens if we just let them hang around? What's the real cost of doing nothing? Well, it's a lot higher than you think. There's a very clear and, honestly, kind of scary progression. It's like a domino effect that happens in 3 stages. First, it starts as that psychic disease, just a negative thought pattern, like doubt or worry. If you don't treat it, it turns into physical anxiety.
It starts showing up as stress, burnout, and just feeling awful. And then ultimately, it can grow into what the source calls an economic cancer. Your career stalls, your finances suffer, and your future just never reaches its full potential.
But here's the thing. Here's the good news. Unlike some diseases you can't control, an attitude disease is something you can absolutely face head on. And it all starts with a little awareness, and then a choice. And this is exactly why this whole conversation matters. You can't fight an enemy you can't even name. So the most powerful thing you can do right now is just identify which one of these patterns might be holding you back. A correct diagnosis is always the first step to finding a cure. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Just look at this list one more time. Indifference, indecision, doubt, worry. Take a second and be really honest with yourself. Which one of these silent killers is standing between you and the top of your mountain? Because just naming it, that's the first step to beating it.